Hello, hello. This is Jay of jgoddesstarot, and I want to welcome you to the February 2022 Insights and Monthly Predictions. So I know I'm filming this video a little late. Actually, I'm posting it a little late, but that's because I got a lot of messages that came through for things coming up in February for those whom this reading resonates with. So, as you know, this is a reading for the pile you pick is where the messages are, and it's perfectly okay if you pick more than one pile because there may be messages for you in more than one. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and pick either pile 1, the blue stone, pile 2 with the green stone, or pile 3 with this beautiful blackish purplish stone, and just inhale and exhale and really pick the pile or piles that intuitively call to you. While you're doing that, check out the links below in the description box. I have a link to my paid readings on Coffee. I also have a subscription site through there where I post longer pick-a-cards. So if you're ever interested in seeing my longer exclusive pick-a-card readings, feel free to join my High Vibe tribe. I have a link to my social media outlets, Instagram and Tumblr. I would say I'm the most active on Tumblr, so feel free to join me at either place. And then I have a link to my Amazon wish list. I do really enjoy tarot and oracle decks, so if you ever would feel that you'd like to gift me with one, I'd very much appreciate it and would use it in a lot of readings. So I'm going to give you a few more seconds to make a choice. Pile 1 with the blue stone, pile 2 with the green stone, or pile 3 with that blackish purplish stone, and we'll get started. So hello, my pile ones. For those of you who selected this beautiful blue stone, this is your reading for insights and predictions coming up in February of 2022. Now, for this reading, for all of the readings, I used a mix of tarot cards and oracle cards to bring through whatever messages I could about insights and predictions for the upcoming month. And I have two messages from your ancestors cards as well. They're not on screen right now, but I will, as we get to them, I will post them up as well. So let's start with the tarot. We have 3 of Swords, the High Priestess, 8 of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So what I'm feeling is coming up for you, my pal ones, is the ending to something, possibly some heartbreak around a relationship. I'm feeling this has to do with specifically a romantic relationship for some of you, or a friendship. It could be job related, but strongly I'm feeling this has to do with a personal relationship, my pal ones. And I don't think this is out of the blue. What is coming through is that this is something that you have maybe intuitively felt is coming to an end. And I feel that ending actually, either the ending itself may be coming, or some more challenges with this particular relationship are coming in February 2022. But know that you were always in control. So what Spirit is saying is you're going through this tough time with this relationship, with whatever it is. And you're really being called to level up internally. And there's 2 specific messages coming through for you, for the people who have selected this. 2 different messages for those who chose the pile. For some of you, this is calling you to level up in terms of your self-love, your self-work, getting your focus together so you can master something. In terms of, I really believe this is about your own level of emotional intelligence, your own level of self-love, etc. Because for some of you, this is going to bring in an opportunity for you to be a boss. I think this self-work is going to result in a career or work opportunity where you're going to be called the boss up with this Emperor card, where you're going to get the opportunity to really walk in all of your gifts and talents based upon the self-work you've done. That's for some of you. For others of you, when you do this level up work, this internal work, and you become the master of who you are, and don't worry, this isn't about it happening in a month, but you really taking the conscious steps to start doing that work, you're attracting in someone who is a potential lover with this boss leadership energy with the Emperor. So I think this is going to be like a split for those of you who have selected this pile. Some of you, this is going to be an opportunity that presents itself to you. And for others of you, there's going to be a partner that embodies this that comes in. So some other oracle cards I use, these are from the Rebel deck. And if you use that deck, you know the messages are quite explicit, but my readings are not for people who are under 18, so there's a couple swear words in here. So we have, you got a feeling you just can't shake, fuck, shit is about to get real, stop fucking whining, and you need a big fucking hug. So let's see. So with this one, you got a feeling you just can't shake. This says, let's put it like this, that little voice inside you, listen to that shit. Fuck, shit is about to get real. This says, fuck, you need your people around you. This one says, stop fucking whining. And it says, no one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. And the last one states, and I'm going to move this one, you need a big fucking hug. And it just says squeeze. So I feel what the oracle cards are really kind of following up on the message is, you know what this challenging situation is. Whatever this Three of Swords situation is, like I said, this isn't something that's blindsiding you, my pal ones. This is something that you have intuitively felt challenged in, strained in. Maybe it was coming to an end, whatever. And the oracle cards are saying, boss up. Do your inner work with that High Priestess card. Really come to master who you are. So don't mope and wallow about whatever this is. You may be sad, and that is perfectly normal and okay. That's not the bad thing. Just don't get into the negative side of that where you're getting into self-pity or a victim mentality. That is not going to be fruitful or healthy for you. You are being called to tap into your greatness and how awesome you are. And doing that through that internal work, working on your self-concept, I think is a big thing. Working on some internal healings, working on who you are, how great and badass you are, and keeping the people around you. So you do need your friends at this time, or the people you trust around you, but not in a complaining, venting sense. It's okay to do that now and then. That's healthy, that's human, but not to the point where you're just replaying that old story. But keep the people around you who you know genuinely care and support you, and they are going to help you get through this time. Now, some crystal cards of inspiration. We have Shungite, which says detoxify, detox your life. Can't read today. And Hematite, ground yourself. So you're being called to this situation that's impacting you. The insights are really start doing this self-work, detoxify your life. Maybe, I think this is also the prediction, is if you end it sooner than allowing it just to play out, and everyone knows what that situation is for them. We're each individuals and have different things going on in our lives. If you're the one that puts an end to it, I feel it'll also make it easier for you to do that inner work rather than allowing this other person or this outside thing that is a part of the situation to determine how you feel. So take the reins, take control, ground yourself, detoxify your life, do the self-work, do your leveling up, and boss vibes, whether that's attracting an opportunity for you to boss up or attracting a person that embodies that boss energy. So those are kind of some of the things that came through that can help you so far, my power ones. And then we have 2 messages from your ancestors. So the first one says, it's time to release all physical and energetic toxins from your life, purify and detox. All right. And the second one says, we are hugging you and letting you know that we are here for you. We know things have been hard. So this is along with, you need a hug as well as detoxify and ground yourself. So your ancestors are letting you know they are with you, they are supporting you, your spirit team, however you describe that, they are with you and for you. But it's also calling you to, which is reinforcing the message, to do your own self-work, that internal work, to get to the point you need to get to. And like I said, this boss up that you're going through, this evolution, this tapping into your intuition, everything that you're going to do. And this also is calling you to do this. Yes, you need your friends and people who care for you around you. You want to spend a little bit of time. Make sure you're carving out time to self isolate. And I don't mean in any severe sense, but for instance, carve out time every day where you're working on yourself, your self work. It could be when you say, if you work out every day, like get physical exercise in every day, you may want to spend 20, 30 minutes on top of that, doing meditation work, manifestation work, self healing, working on affirmations, stuff like that. Like, put dedicated time in your day to do this work, because that will allow you to do it consistently and then see the results of it. So this is what came through for you, my pal ones, for insights and predictions for February 2022. If this resonated with you, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I post new videos. Also, check out the links below in the description box. I have a link to my paid readings on my coffee shop. I have, as well as my subscription sites. I also have a link to my social media outlets, including Instagram and Tumblr. I try to be pretty active on those, as well as I have a link to my Amazon wish list. So if you ever wish to gift me some decks, know that I would very much appreciate it and use them in many readings. If this is where I leave you for now, thank you for letting me read for you today, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Hello, my pal too. So for those of you who selected this beautiful green crystal for your reading, for the February 2022 insights and predictions coming up, this is your reading. And I used a mix of tarot cards and oracle cards to bring through whatever messages I could to help you kind of figure out maybe things coming up, things you need to do, insights that help you make decisions, etc. And I also pulled two ancestor messages cards, spirit team cards, however you like to view it. They're not in the frame right now just because of space, but as we get to them, I will put them in the frame as well. So let's start with the tarot. We have the King of Swords, the Strength card, the Two of Swords, and Temperance. So a couple things that are jumping out to me off the top. This has to do, similar to Pile 1 with the two major arcana and the 4 cards. This has to do with major life themes, but I'm getting with the Swords cards being the support cards, this has a lot to do with things going on in your mind. Now, the King of Swords is telling me that you are quite an intelligent individual, my Pile 2s. And I feel this energy of the predictions and insights coming up specifically has to do with work, career, etc. You're quite an intelligent person. You're very strong, and I think this is a level of emotional intelligence as well as intellectual strength. Like, you are quite smart, but you're in this place, and I don't think this is new. You're in this place where you're very torn inside, and you're being called to, you need to really have some more balance about it. So the decision that's coming up, specifically, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, is, I feel for you, my pal twos, you're very responsible, you're very reliable. And let's say, for example, and this is a clear example that's coming through, you're working at a job that is like an office job or a call center job or something like that. And, it's a good job. You have, let's say, good benefits and perks and all that. And from the outside looking in, and for the people that you talk to in your family who are more traditional minded, let's say, they're like, oh, you should be happy. You have this good job. You're stable, etc. And you appreciate all those things. However, this job that you're working, now for some of you, this could be a relationship, but I'm feeling for the vast majority of you who selected this pile, this has to do with a work, career, possibly school thing. Same thing, if this is school, you are in a major that's very solid and stable because it's what other people expected of you, is that's what other people wanted you to do. But whether this is career, whether this is school, this doesn't feed your soul. Like, I'm not getting the sense that this is bad, like you're experiencing something horrible. You're just extremely dissatisfied on that soul level. So say you went, if this is school related, you're say you're pre-med or pre-law, and everybody's like, yeah, that's a solid career afterwards, but you're like, yeah, but this is not what I want to do. I want to be in some type of arts major, or I want to write, or that's what feeds your soul. But you're doing what other people expect of you to do, and it's not, like I said, it's not horrible. I'm not getting that this is a bad experience, but it doesn't feed your soul, and you're very disconnected in a lot of ways, because this is why you're in your head of trying to make a decision. If this is work, same thing. You have this job, it's stable and benefits and all that jazz, but you're very disconnected from it. You do not enjoy it. You want to do something like be a social media a social media influencer, or start a YouTube channel, or do something artistic and sell your works on a platform like Etsy. Like, whatever you do, there's a big disconnect from what your heart and soul want you to do. And one of the choices you have to make, and the swords card is very appropriate, because the decision you have to make is, what are you going to do about it? But it's the way you're viewing, it's the perspective from which you're viewing this decision that is causing you a lot of anxiety. Here's what I mean. So let's go in the oracle cards and it'll explain more. So we have you do you. This says, stop trying to change people. That shit never works. I feel for some of you, you have been trying to get people to see that you can be successful in this other thing that you want to do that isn't related to maybe their idea of success, or what they view as a way to achieve success. This one says you need some fucking yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool. I feel for your anxieties, etc., my pal, too. Yoga and meditation would be very, very useful for you. We have stop obsessing. These cards do not want to behave. You are not the fucking center of the universe. I think that's meant, the way I read it for this, pal, I don't think you're trying to be the center of the universe. What I feel is you are obsessing about what to do in next steps, and then fuck fear. It will lie to your face. So this Two of Swords energy is coming out is very prominent. And where I think the disconnect is for you, my pal twos, is you feel that you have to make an all or nothing decision, right? And that's not the case. And then let's go over to the crystal inspiration cards. We have Garnet, ignite your passion, and Angelite, support is all around you. What Spirit is saying is take practical steps, okay, to what you want to do. So for example, if you are working a job and it's just a job, it's not something you want to do for your lifetime, it doesn't fulfill your soul and spirit, start making practical ways to start what you want to do. Say you want to start a YouTube channel, start the channel. Start making videos around the things that you find that is your passion. Figure out how long it takes you to make those videos. Most of us can record on our phones these days. Maybe you need equipment. Like, start figuring out those things while you're working. You're seeing this. One of the reasons this is so big in your head and your soul and your mind is you're thinking this is an all or nothing. Like, I can't do this thing I'm passionate about while I work this job, or while I'm in this major, I can't pursue my passion. And you think you'd have to let go of all of the practical things that support you right now and go, jump in and cannonball into your passion. That is not the case. The insights that are coming up for you for February are really take the time to sit down. And because this appeals to you as well, this being strategic and practical, strategic practicality, that's the phrase that's coming up for me. That appeals to you. And that's actually very soothing for you, my pal twos. So figure out, like, let's go back to the example of YouTube. Start the YouTube channel. Start figuring out how long it takes you to film a video per week. Let's start slow, right? Then figure out how long it takes you to edit that video. Then post it. Like, start doing that and start practicing, and then gain momentum in it. Same thing if you are in school for one major, but your passion is writing or acting or design. Start carving out time in every day to do that thing, right? Strategic practicality. is a big thing coming up for you, my pal twos. And as you are doing that, you're taking very strategic steps to accomplish your goal. What it will do is lessen the anxiety that you feel about pursuing your dream, because you can work on it a little bit every day. And it's also chipping away at anything negative coming up in your subconscious about it. So, what this, February is coming up for you to be a month of clarification in a lot of ways, mainly how to start implementing what you want to do, that passion for a career or side hustle or change in major, whatever it is, in a very practical way that you aren't resistant to. Because I feel you want what you want, you have this passion for it, but you have so much internal resistance to it, my pal twos. And that's because you're thinking of it from the perspective of all or nothing. And that is not the only way things can happen. Now, as we know, and we've seen, different stories on YouTube and things in real life, people have done that, but they were in maybe a different energetic space than you're in right now. For you particularly, I think strategic practicality is the way to go for now. Understand that's not forever. That is just the energy coming through for now. And I really feel that it's going to help you with any anxiety you're feeling around your dream or goal or whatever. So 2 additional messages that came through from your spirit team, your ancestors, etc., were: release the burden of worries. Give them to us. We will take care of them. Once again, get out of your head and start taking action in a very strategic way. I think that's big for you, my pal twos. And then yes. So they're saying you're going to be successful at this thing. But it's okay to take these very practical steps to accomplish what you wish to. So those are the messages that came through for you, my pal twos. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. Also, feel free to check out the links below, where I have a link to my paid readings on Ko-fi. I also have a link on Ko-fi as well as my subscription site. I also have a link to my social media outlets, including Instagram and Tumblr. I try to post pretty frequently. And finally, I have a link to my Amazon wish list. If you'd ever wish to gift me a deck, I'd be very appreciative of it. And I use it in lots of pick-a-card readings. So if this is where I leave you for now, thank you for letting me read for you. And I look forward to seeing you again in another video. Hello, my pal three. So for those of you who selected this beautiful blackish, purplish stone, this is your reading for insights and predictions coming up for you in February 2022. Now, I did use a mix of oracle cards and tarot cards to bring through whatever messages I could about, things to know that'll help you out for this coming month. I also picked 2 cards, or shuffled 2 cards from the Ancestors Messages deck, messages from your spirit team. They're not visible on screen right now, but when we get to them, I will definitely put them on screen. So let's begin. We have Ace of Cups, Death, Rebirth, Judgment, and 3 of Wands. So all 3 piles, I've had to say, can admit, there have been 2 major arcana out of the 4 cards. So there's major life themes that are being dealt with here. Now for you, my pal threes, what I'm feeling is you have a desire for love, like new love. And you have been doing quite a bit of, I think for many of you, you've been doing this work. For some of you, you haven't started yet, but you've been strongly thinking about it. You've been doing quite a bit of internal work to let old concepts about what you think a relationship should be, or maybe negative self-concepts about, what you feel you should allow. Like you've been allowing old thought patterns and old subconscious tapes to die. Like you've either been actively doing it or you've been kind of doing it on the side. And that's a Death and Rebirth card. And new love wants to come in, but what I'm seeing for you, my pal threes, is there's some deeper work to be done. And this is not about work being finished. Every day we live, we have a chance to improve. So it's not about, oh, I have to reach this certain point and be finished. What I feel is happening with you right now, if you feel a little frustrated that this new love isn't coming in, it's not that it doesn't want to come in, and it's not that it's not waiting to come in. You have to create the pathway for it. So as you've done some of this self-work, and for many of you, I think you've done more than some, you've been quite extensive. For others of you who haven't started, this is definitely a clear message to say to start that work. But if you've been doing the self-work, the Judgment card is saying there's some deeper things that haven't been tapped yet. It's imperative for you to deal with some of these things on a deeper level. And I don't think this is mean you are ignoring them. I feel that these are things you aren't consciously aware of. That's this Judgment card, like giving those things up on a deeper level. Like you have to go a little deeper within yourself. And the reason it's important is because you not doing it, you're going to continue to repeat the same patterns that you've repeated in the past when it comes to relationships. Like I said, I specifically feel this one is talking about relationships. If not relationships, if that doesn't resonate with you, other opportunities. So you may have some self-sabotaging behaviors in either context that aren't serving you, that you're not wholly aware of. So you gotta do a little deeper digging. And the ways to do a little deeper digging that are specifically coming through, maybe journaling your thoughts, even audio journaling, if hand journaling, if writing tires your hand out like it does me, audio journaling might be a good thing. Working with subconscious tapes, doing meditation, things like that. I feel those will be very impactful in helping you get to that deeper level, figure out what things are about. Because the Three of Wands, like, you know, you're waiting for your manifestation to come in. You're waiting for that success. You know, it's coming. It's on the horizon. You just have to do a little more of that self-work. And this message is coming through, if you were torn between picking Pile 1 or Pile 3, go back and watch Pile 1 as well, because there may be messages in there for you. So Spirit is really calling you to do a little more work in February, because this new love is really waiting to come in. And I feel as soon as you start doing that, releasing a little more, going a little deeper, then that you will create the pathway for that new love to come in. So here are some cards from the Rebel deck. We have a lightning bolt, we have laugh, we have get the fuck out of your head, and whatever you are thinking about, don't do it. So let's start with the lightning bolt. This card says, figure shit out on your own. So I think that's saying, what I'm sensing for many of you is you're at a point where you're a little frustrated, because you're thinking, especially for those of you who have already started doing the work, you're a little frustrated because you're like, why isn't this happening? And I feel with this figure shit out on your own, it's saying, do some of those activities that maybe I suggested, or other ones that appeal to you, to dig a little deeper. And then we have laugh. So laugh says, where the fuck is your sense of humor? Laughter probably is something that you maybe haven't had a lot of recently in your life, my Pile 3s. And I feel it is because you have been so focused on trying to achieve something, trying to do something, etc., that you may have forgotten to have fun, forgotten to be as engaged maybe as would be helpful, because lightening yourself up and like doing something like laughing, watching a funny movie, hanging out with friends, I think that will help you as well, not feel so stressed out wanting this love to come in. And then get the fuck out of your head. This says, get in your heart, it misses you. That makes sense. That goes along with this laugh card. I think that you've been so focused on doing some of this work that you have forgotten to engage in some of those lighter sides of life that help keep you balanced. And whatever you are thinking about, don't do it. Now is not the fucking time. I'm particularly feeling, and take what resonates, this has to do with maybe going back to an ex, or a relationship that wasn't fruitful. Maybe an ex has, take this if it resonates, an ex has reached out to you and they want to reconnect or just go out for coffee. I'm feeling that is probably not the best thing for your growth and your just highest good. Going backwards is rarely a good thing, and usually exes are still in that same energy, we were at when we left them. Now, if an ex has done the same level up work as we've done, they're a different person, just like we're a different person. But in this particular instance, if this does have to do with an ex or even former behaviors that you used to engage in that were comforting, don't do it, because you're making progress. You're becoming a new creature. You're moving forward. Keep on that trajectory, because you're creating this space for that new love to come in. And then we have our crystal inspiration cards. We have Lepidolite. This is recall your dreams, and Celestite, soothe your soul. So I feel these two are saying, do that deeper work, soothe your soul, figure out those things that maybe aren't evident right now, that you still need to start doing work on, or at the bare minimum at least be aware of, so you can start doing work. And then recall your dreams. Don't compromise the type of relationship you want for any type of relationship. And I feel that's what specifically for some of you, going back to an ex or even entertaining an ex again would not be healthy, because you're going to get into the same pattern, because that person hasn't done the level up work that you have been doing. So they're not a new creature. They're not a new person. They're still in that same energy, as I was saying, as when you two parted ways. Now, two ancestor messages from your spirit team that came out were meditate more, ground yourself, and write. Pick up that pen and write. So that sounds like that would be the most useful thing for you, my pal threes, and doing that, tapping in, kind of figuring out a little more about what things have not been uncovered yet where you still need to grow. It sounds like journaling is going to be your best bet. Try journaling, audio journaling, whatever works for you. So those are the messages of insights and predictions that have come up for you, my pal 3, for February 2022. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you know when I post new content. Also, check out the links below in the description box. I have a link to my paid readings on Ko-fi, K-O-F-I, as well as I have my membership sites through there. I have posted great bit of exclusive readings, as well as different tutorials and challenges, etc. So definitely feel free to come join my High Vibe tribe. I also post longer readings on there than I do on YouTube. Also, check out the link to my social media outlets, including Instagram and Tumblr. Try to be pretty active on both. And a link to my Amazon wish list, where if you would ever choose to gift me a deck, I'd very much appreciate it, and would use it in a lot of pick a card readings as well as private readings. If this is where I leave you for now, I want to thank you for letting me read for you today, and I look forward to seeing you again in another